first. So you want to make your goals attainable. And if you beat your first goal, say it takes you 1 day to add that company, then you will adjust your goal and timeline based on your results. Now, if you set a goal and you miss your mark, so say you have 3 companies that you want to add to your business by the end of the year, and you only get 2, and you get frustrated. Well, it's not about getting frustrated. All you have to do is readjust. When you get feedback, or when you miss a mark, that's actually feedback. So you need to figure out what did you do that did not help you render the goal, and you readjust. Let me give you an example. It's just like playing the game of basketball. If you are playing basketball, you definitely have to learn the basics first, like dribbling the ball. And when you go to shoot, you have to understand the science behind posture and positioning. So if you shoot the ball and you hit the rim, then you know you have to readjust. Maybe your feet were out of position. Maybe your hand was not, maybe you didn't extend your arm through. Maybe you lost your balance. So what you do is you take those signals of what happened that caused you to miss your goal, and you readjust. And once you readjust, you follow through. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to build your company or your business and be in the wrong track. And it's going to take you to have to relearn the entire process from scratch to correct the problem that you're having. So it's important that you build it right the first time. That way you don't have to break the foundation down and start over. Readjust, learn what you messed up, and try it again. That's all it is. Feedback is not failure. Feedback is information to help you readjust. So, like I said, you have to have your business plan. And once you get your business plan in place, you're ready to start soliciting companies. But before you do that, there is a list of things you have to have that they will be asking you for. So I'm going to help you get prepared. They will ask you for your business license, your insurance and liability limit, W-9 forms, FEIN, which is your federal employer identification number, or your social. You can use either one. Me personally, I prefer to use an FEIN, which is basically your business's social security number. You ask for a copy of your driver's license, certificate of insurance, how many years you've been in a business. They'll ask for references, employees, the areas you cover, your zip codes, and any previous companies you work with. So we'll go through that here in the next slides. So here's an example of your business license, and this is from my state and county. It will definitely look totally different than yours. And I have blocked out some confidential information. So as you can see, this is just an overview of how business licenses look. You go to your county clerk, and they will begin to walk you through the process of the business license. And once you get a county license, you will then have to make sure you connect with your state and get a federal license to be recognized by the state. So your county license won't suffice for the state. When it comes to your taxes, you definitely want to make sure you go through the state's process. Now, some states don't require you to necessarily file a business license until you make a certain amount of money. For example, here in the town that I live in, they require us to have at least $4,000 on file in our business before we have to actually register our business. But again, that's neither here or there. It'll all depend on your business and your county. Now, the property preservation companies we're focusing on, they will ask you about your insurance liability limits. You have to have insurance in order to do work with these companies. There's a couple things, and let me backtrack. So, what's going to separate you from anyone on the street cleaning these properties is your business license and your insurance. That establishes you as a as a reputable person to do business with. So they will ask for your general liability insurance. They will also ask for auto insurance. They may ask you for your errors and omission insurance. It depends on the company. They may ask for workman's comp insurance, and the insurance limits that they have, it will definitely vary depending on the company you work with in your state. So general liability insurance is basically any insurance that covers your business's work. If there is damage to property from work that you did, for example, say you did a winterization, or you removed some debris and you didn't get it all out, or is there some mold growth, or whatever the case might be, general liability basically covers those outstanding issues that may come unaware. So you definitely want to have general liability insurance. Auto insurance, me personally, I just use my personal auto insurance, and took one of my vehicles and changed it into under a business. So we had our auto insurance split in half. One of our vehicles was under the business, and one was under our personal use. So you don't have to use anything extra. We didn't pay anything extra for that. It was just part of the requirements to do business as a vendor. Now, errors and omission insurance is one that I did not have to get for the companies that I worked with, but I did see it come up a lot, and I do have a feeling that this will be a requirement moving forward in a lot of the companies that you will do businesses with. But as of right now, it's not as big, but I do see it becoming a really big requirement. And what errors and omission insurance is basically insurance that covers any paperwork errors or any failure to complete certain things. It's normally used for companies that do a lot of paperwork processing, and since the foreclosure cleaning industry is very paperwork intensive, they are starting to require that a lot more. Now, workman's comp insurance is not always needed. It depends on your state and your business structure and how many employees you have. Just for my state, if you have under 4 employees, you do not need workman's comp insurance. And it took a lot of work for me to convince a lot of the companies I work with that my state waives workman's comp insurance. So if you work with someone, make sure that you try to find documentation on your Department of Labor's website that shows whether you are waived. And if you're not waived, then you definitely need to get that insurance if your client requires it. So there's more to come on that, but definitely do your research and find out what your state's requirement is for the work you're doing in your business. So they're going to also ask you for W-9. And a W-9 is basically what they need to file taxes. So because you are a contractor, they will not pay on anything that you do because you're not an employee of theirs, but you are a business. So they have to pass the tax on to you. A W-9 basically, in this instance for your business, states that you are liable for any income that you make to pay taxes on that income. And this is how they record it through the government, which is a W-9. So they will ask for that, so always have a file and copy. I recommend you have an electronic file saved on your computer because you do a lot of emailing of your applications out, and it's so much easier if you have one on your desktop. If you don't have a saved copy, then you definitely want to scan one in your computer, write it out and scan it in, because it makes it so much more efficient if you automate the process and have it ready and on hand. And like I said, you use your social security number or your EIN. I prefer to use my EIN, which is a free number that you get through the government website. I'll link that below also. So once you file for your EIN or FEIN through the Internal Revenue Service, this is what it'll look like. It'll basically just give you your number